यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः तत्तत्प्राप्य शुभाशुभम् नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता। यदा संहरते चायम् कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता। विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते। यततो ह्यपि कौन्तेय पुरुषस्य विपश्चितः इन्द्रियाणि प्रमाथीनि हरन्ति प्रसभं मनः तानि सर्वाणि संयम्य युक्त आसीत मत्परः वशे हि यस्येन्द्रियाणि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता। So we have seen the difference between, that attachment and duty. This can help you a lot in life. Instead of using the language, I am attached, I need this, I need him, I need her, etc. Say so and so needs me, let me give my best. Children need me, let me serve. That's a duty. Grandchildren need me, let me do something. My husband needs me. Don't judge whether that he needs you, don't judge, don't remember the past. Bala, he was very cruel to me, therefore, vagera, vagera. Don't bring in all that past. Leave it to Bhagavan. Law of karma should be handled by Ishvara. The result of karma, we always get the results of karma. As per the law of karma, leave it to God. A lot of things to be left to God. But he needs me, let me serve. The society needs me, let me serve. These poor people need me, let me serve them. No, here is something that needs me, my presence, my attention. Here is someone who needs my attention. Let me do something. That's called doing duty, in which you have no attachments. You are being absolutely, you are living a life of a noble individual. Karma Yoga cannot be bettered. This is the Karma Yoga in its best form. My husband needs me, my children need me, my grandchildren need me, my parents need me, my grandparents need me, my friend needs me. I am needed, my services are needed, let me do something as a prayer to God. That is called Karma Yoga. This we analyzed in the previous class, we did it elaborate. The next point that is being made is, now when you live this kind of life, doing duty, and see within 1 or 2 days, you start feeling happy. Instantly it will give you happiness. Why? Because as the thinking is corrected, as the thinking gets corrected, you also start becoming happy. You understand? जैसे दवाई डालते हैं, रिलीफ तो मिलता है ना. There is a cut and there is a as you put the medicine, there is a relief felt. Similarly, as one corrects one's thinking, what is the thinking? I need my children, I need this person, I need that person, I need money, I need, all the time saying, I want, I need, instead of repeating, I need, you say, he needs my presence, my services. My husband needs my services, my children need my services, my wife needs my services, my parents need my services, my grandparents need my services, my parents-in-law need my services. And you start making them comfortable in your own way, that making an effort to make everybody comfortable, the people who are related to you in the house, will it make you happy or not? Will it make you happy instantly or in time? There is no in time. Vedanta doesn't talk about growth in time. ऐसा कुछ नहीं. As the thinking is corrected, you become happy. This we have clarified, and therefore you experiment with it. One thing. The second point that is made is tat tat prapya shubha shubham. Tat tat prapya shubha shubham means, tat tat means each. Shubha shubham means good and bad. Shubham means good, auspicious, desirable, what you like. Something nice happens in your life, that is called Shubham. Children are doing very well in studies. What is it? Shubham. That's why, in front of the house you always have Shubham and Labham. They always say, Shubham and Labham, etc. in all these houses, at least South Indian families. Shubham means let all good happen, and in the evening lot of money come. That is because our definition of Shubham never excludes Labham. You see? Therefore, and I'm telling you something very, very South Indian village culture, which you will never know. I'll tell you. When you sell something, when you give something to somebody in all the shops, the first measure is Shubham, the next is Labham. Then you begin one. First two you give free. What a culture. What a culture, what a wonderful thing. First you give Shubham, then you say Labham, and then one. Peculiar. I've seen all that. Now when I look back, my God, they all make sense. That means, you show you always want the other person also to benefit. When you sell something, for a profit, you want the other person also to gain profit. There is a prayer, God, just as you are giving me a little profit, where this person also gets some profit. And what a relation. And therefore, anyway, here I am only defining the word Shubham. Shubham means what is desirable, what is good, auspicious. Children are doing well. That is what? Shubham. Your business is doing well. Shubham. Everybody is in good health. Oh my God, it's a big Shubham. And no jhagada in the house. Shubham. And everybody has discipline. Everybody gets up in time. And everybody gets ready for office in time. Everybody is disciplined. And everybody comes for dinner together in time. Not one at 8 o'clock, another at 8:30. What a headache. This is really pain on the neck. You have to keep awake till 11 o'clock to feed all the members of the family. It's very difficult. You should just, make it, there's something called, therefore, if there is discipline, then what is it? Shubham. Therefore, when good things, these are all called good times. We can give them all one word called good times. When everything is good happening in the house, therefore it is called good times. These good times are also called Shubham, and it is also called what we call your Samay is Anukul. Anukul means, it is always in favor of your interest. It's in your interest. Now, what Krishna is telling here is something important. When something good happens to you, don't think really you have reached the goal. It is just a part of it is making your journey comfortable. That's all. When good things happen in life, it's making your journey comfortable. It doesn't amount to having reached. And even when the journey becomes comfortable, it is great. Even when the journey becomes comfortable, it's a big achievement. There's some mobile going on. Mobile. Can you just go and tell them? The problem is there. So then, what happens is, so we look upon it as though I have reached the goal. Complacency sets in. The risk of good times is complacency. You become complacent. Good times can make man complacent. Good times can make sluggish. Good times can make man indifferent. Good times can make man vainful. Good times can make man overconfident. Good times can mislead man. Therefore, when Krishna says, when good times come, don't go into deep sleep, don't become complacent, and don't become vainful, and don't become overconfident. Hey, understand, it is just a part of journey. It is not reaching the goal. And all that you can do is use the good times to reach the goal. Whenever good things happen in life, just listen to this. Whenever good things happen to you, what is the immediate result? Children are happy, and husband is happy, and the business is doing well, everybody is in good health, everybody is smiling, laughing, there is a lot of cheer in the household. And even the neighbors are very good, and then India is doing very well, there is peace. Now tell me, then what happens in your mind? What is the first result? You become happy. When everybody around you is happy, you also become happy. And when you are happy, that is the time. When you are happy, that is the time when you are receptive to all the right advices. Understand? When a person is happy, you can give him any advice and he is receptive. Are you able to follow? When he is unhappy, tell him something. When a person is unhappy, tell him something. Will he receive it? What will he say? कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. कुछ नहीं होने वाला. He will say. Happiness makes you receptive. When you are happy, you are receptive to all the right things in life. And when you are happy, you are receptive to the right advices given by others. In fact, this is the time when you should be receptive to yourself. You should give the right advices to yourself. Use the good times to advise yourself correctly. Use the right times to give yourself the right advices. Use the right times to pull yourself from the wrong vices. If there are wrong vices in life, there are some vices, when the times are good, that is the time you should beat them out. And that is the time when you should guide yourself slowly towards really understanding yourself. You have to look, you have to go back to yourself. If you are indisciplined, that is the time you should become disciplined. If you have vices, that is the time when you should get out of the vices. And when you are really having wrong attitudes, that is the time you should have the right attitudes. Krishna says, use the right times to teach yourself the right things. Therefore, don't look upon the right times as the goal, but use it as a part of comfortable journey. Let it be used. Use the Shubham to educate yourself. Shubham makes you relaxed. Shubham makes you happy. And therefore, use that happy state of mind, use that relaxed state of mind to understand the truth that is within. To reach. Use the comfortable journey to reach successfully. And therefore, Shubham should not be looked upon. One need not gloat on success, gloat on Shubham. Well, look upon it only a part of journey. Na abhinandati. That is the next line. A wise man does not gloat on Shubham. I hope you have heard this. A wise man does not gloat on Shubham. Gloat, G-L-O-A-T. I can't find a better term. Gloat means, thinking that it is something big. It's almost, getting exhilarated that you start celebrating that you have already reached the goal. That is called gloating. Feeling vainful. Gloating. Trumpeting. Gloating. Thinking that I have reached. I've got everything in life. In this manner, don't really gloat on Shubham. Don't develop vanity over Shubham, but become humble with humility. Use it for reaching. Make life more comfortable. Make the journey more comfortable. And the journey is towards yourself. The journey is not somewhere in time and space. The journey is towards yourself. Clear at this point? Now I'll give you an example and see for yourself. When God gives me money, I can use it to make my journey towards the truth comfortable. I can use my money to make my journey comfortable towards the truth, and I can also use the same money to harm myself, to distract myself. And don't say, Swamiji, no, we all use money only to make our journey comfortable towards the truth. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. People use money only to harm themselves. It is a generalized, it is not an exception. Using money to harm oneself is the general trend in the creation. Dhanam is never used to help oneself. Money is always used to harm oneself. People harm themselves. Supposing you get money and you start drinking, is it helping yourself or harming yourself? It is harming yourself. God gives you money and then you go to court because there is some discrepancy in the accounts. Therefore, my brother has taken a little more money and I have got less money, and there is a discrepancy of 101 rupiah. And now, in order to get back that 101 rupiah, I am going to court. What is it? Helping oneself or harming oneself? If you analyze a human attitude towards the money that he gets, he never uses it to help himself. He always uses it to harm himself. He loses humility in money. Then what is it? Supposing you use money to lose humility. You get money and you lose humility. That means what? It's a loss. In fact, a man who gets a lot of money without wisdom is a bigger loser than a man who never gets any money. I'm telling you. Because I have seen people with a lot of money really losing everything in life. There is nothing left except some properties. No humility, no prayer in the heart, not even honest to your own really wedded wife. You are not honest to your husband or wife. You are not really compassionate to the elderly. You are not affectionate to the elders. You are not respectful to the elders. You are living in your own dunya. Is it gain or loss? It's all loss. Bhagavan says, hey, don't use money to harm yourself. Use money to make your journey comfortable. Your living comfortable and peaceful. And I'll give you an example. It's a very simple example. Supposing you get a very attractive walking stick, what do? You can use it for walking, or you can use it to beat yourself. Or you can use it to beat somebody and in return get beaten. A walking stick can be used to make your journey comfortable. When you are really, anyway, it is uphill task, you are trekking a mountain, you can use that walking stick to make your journey comfortable. Or you can use the same walking stick, to harass others, to threaten others, and also get harassed by others. Possible or impossible? Possible. Your money is no greater than a walking stick, I'm telling you. All the material pleasures are like what? Like a walking stick. I can use it for my peace, or I can use it to harm myself. Therefore, here Bhagavan says, Shubham prapya, having gained Shubham in life, don't gloat on it, don't lose humility, don't lose in the name of prosperity. In fact, don't lose anything. Use prosperity to enrich yourself as an individual. Use riches to enrich yourself as an individual. बहुत बड़ी बात है जी. Use riches to enrich, to improve your health, number one. And use money, use riches to enrich your feelings. If you have some questionable feelings, beat them out and start entertaining right feelings. Like feeling of consideration, feeling of compassion, feeling of accommodation, feeling of respect, feeling of really togetherness. Therefore, replace the wrong feelings with the right feelings. Therefore, use wealth to enrich your feelings. Use wealth to enrich your feelings. And similarly, use wealth also to enrich your attitudes and ultimately use it for your journey towards yourself, because we don't have to journey anywhere. The journey is towards oneself. Clear? Use money. Money gives you happiness and money also gives you a lot of time. If you are wise, in fact, the first thing that you get in life is a lot of time. If money doesn't give you time, then money you haven't really received the time that it gives. It gives, but I haven't received it. Money by its nature, wealth has to give time. If I'm a wrong person, then I don't get time. Because money is meant to give us time and mental leisure. One is clock time, the other is mental leisure. Clock time, because I don't have to struggle for the next meal, therefore there is a lot of time. I don't have to struggle for the next meal because I have enough, therefore which I can fall back on, and therefore I don't have to really have all the time at my disposal. That time, that's one time. In my mind there is no hurry to reach because I don't have anxieties, therefore I have mental leisure. This mental leisure should be the result of prosperity. Mental leisure should be the result of prosperity. Availability of time should be the result of prosperity. And once you have mental leisure and time, what do you use it for? The leisure that you get from the prosperity. Prosperity has a vibhuti. Prosperity by itself does give time and leisure. And then when you get time and leisure, what do you use it for? You can't use it again for money. I mean, you have money. The money gives the time. Money gives leisure. Now, what do you use that time and leisure? What do you use it for? In fact, there is nothing in this creation that you can use time and leisure for. Mental leisure can only be used for only self-education, to look at yourself. I use leisure only to look at myself, to go back to myself. Therefore, use the leisure and time that is given by prosperity, let it be used for self-education. Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya, use this language. The purpose of leisure is Brahma Vidya, Atma Vidya, Adhyatma Vidya. Adhyatma Vidya, even though it is an old phrase, but I am telling you the connotation of it is ever fresh. It's again inside. So somebody, please put off the. So now this Adhyatma Vidya, you can put off the mobiles. थोड़ा सा 1 घंटा ये 1 घंटा ऐसे ही चले जाते हैं. Are you able to follow? What can you use the leisure for? Only for Adhyatma Vidya. What does Adhyatma Vidya mean? Adhyatma means Adhi means pertaining to. Atma means the self. Vidya means knowledge. Knowledge pertaining to yourself is called Adhyatma Vidya. Therefore, even though Adhyatma Vidya is no. आराम से बैठे. Adhyatma Vidya, even though it is an ancient word, Adhyatma Vidya, even though it is an ancient word, its connotation is very relevant. Self-knowledge is very relevant. Like the word Anandam is ancient. And what is its connotation? Happiness. Is it not its connotation relevant? Is happiness relevant or irrelevant? Relevant. Therefore, the purpose of mental leisure, the purpose of prosperity is mental leisure, and the purpose of mental leisure is Atma Vidya. And using the Shubham for Atma Vidya is what Bhagavan is recommending. Don't look upon it as an end in itself. Don't look upon it as the goal in itself. Don't look upon it as reaching. It is only a part of the journey. Respect prosperity, then you have mental leisure. And respect mental leisure and use it for self-education, to study Gita, to study Vedanta. Nothing else. Then the next phrase is, don't look upon Shubham as the goal, but as a part of journey. And don't look upon Ashubham as again, as a total breakdown in life. That also look upon as a part of journey. Ashubham means, inauspicious. Not that all the time auspicious happens, sometimes something inauspicious also happens. If there can be ups, there can be downs. If there is a success, there can be a setback also. If there is some gain, there can be a loss. If there is good health, there can be ill health. Bhagavan says, neither Shubham is the goal of life, nor the Ashubham is a breakdown in life. I want you to hear this. Because when something good happens, we think we have reached the goal. When something bad happens, we think we have lost everything. This is the end of life. This is the breakdown. A small setback should not be interpreted as a total breakdown. Did you hear that? A small setback should not be interpreted as a total breakdown. Once you interpret it as a total breakdown, then you lose interest in life. Then you stop going for a morning walk. अब क्या करना है? अब walking भी जाके क्या करना है? And you are never in time. That means you lose interest in your proper routine. You lose interest in looking after your health. You lose interest in everything, and the deterioration speeds. It becomes, faster. The deterioration is faster, the decline is faster as you lose interest. Therefore, don't look upon any small setback as a total breakdown. Krishna says, hey, don't look upon it as dveshti. Means what? Don't panic it, don't hate it, and don't really think. Don't lose your nerve. Don't lose your nerve. Like when you are journeying, there can sometimes really you have a good patch, sometimes bad patch. Well, you have to manage. You enjoy the good patch, but you also accommodate the bad patch. But it's a part of journey. Over journey, you have no choice. You have to keep moving. You have to keep moving towards yourself. Therefore, nadhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratisthita. And therefore, now I'll give you another small thing. When difficulties come in life, it's an opportunity for you to grow in your resistance. Try to understand this point. The best opportunity. As I told you, if you are a person, if you are intelligent, you can make the best of the Shubham. You can also make the best of the Ashubham. Difficulties can really, you can use the difficulties to grow in your resistance, to grow in your patience, to grow in your titiksha. In fact, you can convert difficulties into tapasya. Why can't we convert difficulties into tapasya? It becomes a tapasya. Like you see, when you go to Vaishno Devi temple, you have to trek, is it not? Or when you go to, I have never been there, but I have been to this Mathura mount, that Govardhan Parikrama, that Pradakshinam, and you have to walk barefoot. Is it difficult or easy? I know how difficult it is. Because when I went with barefoot, for the next 6 months, I was all the time looking at my feet. When is it going to be all right? When are they going to be all right? But do we ever feel repentant for that? Do we regret that? We feel so blessed. We feel so blessed. That means what? We know how to convert difficulties into tapasya. If I can convert Govardhana Parikrama, which is very, very tough, if I can really convert the toughness of going around Govardhan into tapasya, I can also convert God-given some difficulties into tapasya. Therefore, I can learn to take the difficulties, I can learn to convert the difficulties into tapasya. That is what Bhagavan says, don't look upon a difficulty as a total breakdown. And the moment you interpret a setback into a total breakdown, then you lose interest in life. Once you lose interest in life, you lose interest in health. And that is the time you take to drinking. That is the time. जब मरना ही हो तो क्यों ना? You see, why not I just drink to my death? Why not I drink to my death? Why die an insipid death? Why not I die a spicy death? Why not I die a spicy? In this manner, there are jokers who think it is dangerous. I am telling you, don't take it light. It's very dangerous. Never allow any setback in life. Never allow any setback in life to make you lose interest in life. Because life is too sacred. Life is too valuable. Because when you want life even for a second, even if you pay $1 billion, you can't get it. A man is dead. Supposing you ask, you give all your property to the doctors. Can they make him alive? They make him alive. 1 minute existence. Say, what God's power, the life that is given to us by God's grace, that even 1 minute of that life we can't buy through all the wealth available on the earth. The amount of money that we have lost in shares last 1 year, even if you gave all that money, can you get 1 moment of life? Can you get 1 moment of life? Bhishma was there, Drona was there, Bhishma was there, all the Pandavas were there, Bhishma was there, Krishna was there. Were they able to give life to Abhimanyu? Were they able to give life to Abhimanyu? No, it's not easy. Understand the value of life. Because you keep on living for a long time, you take life for granted. ये तो सस्ता है. When you get free food, we take food for granted. When you have health, we take health for granted. And when we are alive, we take life for granted. And when everything, the parents are giving everything, then you take everything for granted. We are masters in taking everything for granted. And therefore, please don't take the value of life for granted. Therefore, never lose interest in living, even if there is a setback. So what? And sometimes, lot of setbacks that we think of are not setbacks at all. These simple things. So the son is delaying in marrying, or the daughter's marriage is getting delayed, or some joint pain. These are all just nothing. If you tell all this to Bhagavan, shut up. If you tell them all to Bhagavan in your prayer, Bhagavan, I have got a problem of a new joint pain, I have a problem that my daughter is not getting married, or my son is not behaving properly with my daughter-in-law, Bhagavan says, talk something better. Atma-vidya के बारे में बात करो. Because that is all important. These are all just nothing. And therefore here Krishna says, use Shubham to your advantage and use Ashubham to your advantage. Don't gloat on Shubham and start stagnating. And don't break down in the face of Ashubham and lose interest in life. Look upon both Shubham and Ashubham as a part of journey and continue journey and journey towards yourself, and that self is the topic of your scripture. Keep looking into the scripture to understand yourself. Like looking into the mirror. As you look into the mirror, it shows one's own physical form. Similarly, the scripture also is like a mirror. When you look into the mirror, it shows our nature. Clear? Now we go to the next verse. Thus, let not the Shubham and Ashubham rule our life, govern our life. Let not the good and bad control our mind. Let not good and bad, that's not important. Good happens sometimes it is your turn to get something good, sometimes it is my turn. Everybody gets sometimes good, sometimes bad, it goes on. In fact, I give you a nice, beautiful sentence and then you memorize it. Chakravat parivartante shubhani ashubhani cha. Like a wheel goes up and down, up and down. Like a wheel goes up and down, up and down. The good and bad are like a wheel going up and down. Sometimes the Shubham is up and sometimes the Ashubham is up. This is a part of life. We should not make a big issue out of it. We have to free ourselves from the hold of this dichotomy of Shubham and Ashubham and start moving towards the truth, which is choiceless. We should take up the choiceless. The choiceless is self-recognition. We have to move towards that self-recognition. Okay, then the next verse. Let us read the next verse. Yada samharate chayam Urmongani va sarvashah Indriyani indriyarthebhyah Tasya prajna pratishthitam. You know, you are a non-vegetarian. Supposing, I don't know, I'm not. Supposing one is a non-vegetarian. And then he sees a tortoise. What thoughts does he get? You know, a tortoise? Kurma. And you are a non-vegetarian. And you have spent more years in China. What will you think? You always look upon a tortoise as food. You feel like catching it and cutting it and cooking it and consuming it, nothing else. You feel like converting it into your food. You understand? And therefore, supposing there is another individual who is a Vaidika, who is a vegetarian, who is non-violent, who is reflective, who is sensitive, when he looks at the kurma, he gets a message. Our sages got a message by observing a kurma. Kurma means a tortoise. Our sages got a message, they got a message by seeing a tortoise. What is the message? This tortoise is wise enough to withdraw its limbs unto itself whenever it apprehends a danger. It is wise enough not to confront. Why? Because it has got certain weaknesses and therefore it doesn't want to confront. It goes into its own shell. It goes into itself. That shell is a part of it anyway. It goes into itself. It withdraws itself. The Vedic, some of these scholars of Vedic people, they got a message. This is an old example. Bhagavan Krishna is giving this example. Bhagavan Krishna is giving this example. A kurma, whenever it sees a danger, it withdraws its limbs back into itself. Here Krishna says, be like a kurma, be like a tortoise. Now look at the verse. Yada, when, samharate, withdraws. Cha, and when it withdraws. Ayam kurmaha, this tortoise. Kurmaha means a tortoise, ayam means this jnani. When a jnani withdraws his limbs unto himself, like even kurmaha angani iva. Like even kurmaha, a tortoise, angani, limbs, iva, just as. Sarvashaha, from everything. I have given word meaning and then string them together. When a human being can switch his attention from the world to himself, just as the tortoise can switch its attention from the world to itself. When switching the attention from the world to itself means withdrawing all its limbs back unto itself. It goes into safety, it goes into security. And it goes into itself, security. For survival it goes out, for security it goes in. For survival it goes out, for food it goes out, for security it goes in. For food it goes out, for peace it goes in. I'm just using the language. All language has got its limitation, but I'll try to explain. But just to follow, a tortoise goes out for survival, out for food, out for drinking, out for anything material, and whenever it wants safety, security, peace, relaxation, it goes back to itself. This is what is available for observation. Now here Bhagavan says, hey, be like a tortoise. Now the next is, tortoise is alright, Swamiji, it can withdraw its limbs. But how can I withdraw my limbs? I don't have a shell. I don't have a shell. Hey, their withdrawing is, there is a withdrawal, the tortoise withdraws its limbs unto itself. Man withdrawing his attention to himself means Attention from the world whenever he apprehends danger. Whenever he apprehends danger or anything, any fear, he should be able to switch his attention from the world to himself. Now, this is where I want to say something. I have cleared the first line. Indriyani indriyarthebhyaha, also you take the one who withdraws the senses from the sense objects. Tasya prajna, his wisdom, pratishtita, is firm, is clear. The one who can withdraw the senses from the sense objects the same way as a tortoise withdraws its limbs unto its own shell, a person who withdraws his senses from the sense objects back into himself, just as a kurma withdraws its limbs back into its own shell, that person is a wise person. Is a wonderful statement. What Krishna says is right. But then one has to think, what is this? I apprehend a danger there and I switch off. What is danger? Really? Supposing if somebody is in danger, if there is a snake, I can't close my eyes. That's not the right thing. If there is a stinger, I can't close my eyes. And there is a highway robber, there is a robber, and then he is a housebreaker, he is breaking into your house, and then immediately remember Bhagavad Gita class. So whenever you see a danger, go back into yourself, switch. It is very dangerous. Very, very dangerous, very risky teaching. It is not that really when there is a danger outside, when there is something that confronts you, you have to handle it. That is where you have to do your duty. When there is something that comes, when some difficulty comes, when it is cold, you protect it. You protect yourself from it. When it is hot, you protect yourself from it. There is no use of going into, switching your attention from the world to the self. And then really, if your husband is not behaving well, you don't switch off. You can't switch to the self. You can't switch to the self. Whenever the husband is frightening, switch off the husband and switch on the self. That's not, this sounds to be very mediocre. If that is what Krishna meant, really I would never take it. What Krishna means is, your dangers are not outside. Those dangers you can always handle, but the danger is yourself getting interested in wrong things. That is the danger. Inner temptation for wrong things. Inner temptation for the harmful things. Inner temptation for dangerous things, harmful things, distractions. The danger is not outside, the danger is in oneself. And whenever you are vulnerable, your inner vulnerability is the danger. One is vulnerable to be distracted to the wrong things. You see, leaving duty, you will go somewhere else, that's a vulnerability. And then really you want to use money and then start taking to drinking. What is it? What is danger here? Is the bottle the danger or your inner attraction for it? Your inner temptation. In fact, the real danger in life is inner temptation. Inner temptation for anything harmful. Temptation for greed, temptation for jealousy, temptation for violence, temptation for grabbing, temptation for accumulation, illogical accumulation, temptation for anything wrong. All those wrong temptation for the wrong things in one's mind, those temptations, I would say, are the danger. And when there are temptations, then what do? You have to fight them. And the way to fight them is what? You can fight them in light of what you are. In light of, because you are already a peaceful being. You are much bigger than what you think. You are much bigger than the form. And therefore it is like, you see, it is like a student. And I'll try to give you this example if it works. If you understand the value of education, and then supposing you have there is a temptation for a drug, let us say, taking some drug, taking some, what we call some cannabis or something like bhang, something. You want to take to some drug. And if a person understands the value of education, then he can make a comparison. My God, the value of education is much greater than the pleasure I can get from this drug. The value of education is much greater than the pleasure I can get from this drug. If he can make a comparison and understands the value of education as much more, will it really help him out of it or not? Will it help him out of the temptation or not? How else can he fight out the temptation? Tell me. You, for example, you as a student, as a person who is going to school, a student, now or a college student, or a teenager, or even a young person in 30s, etc. Well, if that person, because he has got a lot of money, supposing he gets into that kind of temptation, let me try how it tastes and what one feels if one takes cannabis. Supposing he wants to try cannabis. How does he fight it? Tell me. You can come up with the answer. He can get scared of addiction. He can get scared of the parents. He can get scared of his future. I got something is going to, like this he can. But the best thing that can fight out the temptation is, I can get much more from life without it than with it. Understand? I can get much more from life. I can get much more happiness from life. I can get much more peace from life. I can get much more satisfaction from life without the cannabis than with it. You have to do pradakshanam. You have to go around this thought. You have to dwell on this thought again and again. I have to dwell on this thought again and again. What? I can get from life much more without the cannabis than with it. In the same manner, I can get from life much more without the temptation for the wrong things than with the temptation for the wrong things. Without the wrong temptations, I can get much more happiness from life, much more leisure from life, much more peace from life, much more time from life, and much more wisdom from life. In fact, one has a chance for fulfillment in life, minus the temptations for the wrong. Minus distractions in life, life can be used for total fulfillment if life is lived without distractions. If life is lived without distractions, it can be lived for total fulfillment. And if life is lived with distractions, there is no chance of any fulfillment. Not only there shall be no fulfillment, there will be a problem of frustration. There is a risk of frustration. Thus, you dwell on this point, how much one is going to lose through these distractions and how much one is going to gain without the distractions. You weigh one against the other. You weigh the odds. You weigh what you can get through distraction, what you can lose through distractions, and what you can gain without distraction. Are you able to follow? And therefore, when you dwell on this point, definitely you switch your attention from the distractions to the self. That switching one's attention from the distractions to oneself is what is called, is exactly what is conveyed by the example of kurma. Just as the kurma, whenever it apprehends danger outside, it goes back into itself. Similarly, a wise man is one, whenever he is faced with distractions, he switches his attention from the distractions to the self, which is peaceful, which is full. Are you able to follow? We'll continue it later on. There's a lot more. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Hari Om Hari